See, now we have our diving board and everything else, but we got to create water. And you're going to ask, how are you going to create water, Bruce? Well, simple enough. What you're going to do is you're going to go to a craft store and you're just going to buy blue cellophane. Very simple, very easy. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay strips down of your blue cellophane. Now you're going to take clear packing tape and you're going to do your seams, okay? Don't worry about the edges. Just do your seams. And you're going to come out as far as you'd like, depending on the size of your stage and your room. Now, before you start laying the cellophane, what I want you to do is unroll it and have the kids just take it, and I want you to crumple it all up. And after you crumple it up, go ahead and lay it back down. You're going to say, why, Bruce? Because what that does is it gives you little ripples in the water. When you put your lighting on it, it just gives it that extra added effect and detail. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a very simple box cutter, and you're going to take this box cutter and using very, very little pressure on it, is you're going to take your box cutter, and you can see what we did here is we created this undulating line that just gives it a nice, cool look and feel, so it's not all jaggedy and stuff. Then what we did is we went around it with clear packing tape again to take down the edges so the kids don't trip on it. So after we cut all our stuff and the volunteers pulled away, we had some extra stuff that they were throwing out, and I go, wait, hold on, don't throw it out. So what you do is you take the extra stuff, you crimple it up, and look what you can do with it. It looks like bubbles and like the water has movement, so don't throw that extra cellophane out. Now over here what we have is we did the Nile coming off the background, and then what we did is we picked up blue cellophane and we laid and taped blue cellophane down. Now on the edges we did this all straight. Taped it all down, then we came back with our utility knife and we cut this wonderful pattern in, and then we taped the edges down with clear packing tape. And you can see what a difference that is of pulling from our flat mural out to our audience. Makes a big difference. You're going to say to yourself, well, I don't have those kind of trees. You know, ask within your church. Ask other churches. See if you can borrow trees around your area. But they do make a big difference. What we have is we have our painted palm trees, and what this does is bring it from flat to 2D to 3D. Baskets are a big important thing in Egypt. Borrow baskets, hampers, bread baskets, whatever you got, find them and bring them in. Hey guys, talking about our boat here, we used 2 sheets of 4x8 sheets of cardboard, and you can get these at any local hardware store or shipping company. And what we did is we used our utility knife to cut the seams in. Make sure you have a good hot glue gun. Hot glue gun is very important. Make sure you have extra glue sticks, and clamps are pretty important. So when you're holding this stuff together, you have a good clamp on everything. And we painted it, aged it. Okay, for the boat, of course, why I'm sitting here, can't be sitting on cardboard, so we made a seat. Simple to fit inside the boat here. We didn't have to paint anything because you're really not going to see it from the sight lines of the stage. So that way somebody can sit here in the boat. And then we named the back of the boat. Yes, es Jacques.
For Jacques Lacroix.
You know, when we brought our cardboard together here, I didn't quite like how it was kind of open. So what we did is we took our scrap cardboard, made a front piece, made the edge over it, hot glued it all together, and look at that, gave us a solid boat. Then we took some twine or some rope that we had left over. What we did is just punched a hole through, tied a knot, pulled it up through, and made sure it was tied to our pylon. And there you got the Bayou boat. Okie dokie now. We're talking about a chain for the anchor, and you have not seen the anchor yet, and we're about to sculpt an anchor, but we started with our chain. This is your typical foam insulating that you put around copper pipes for your plumbing or for your air conditioning units. You can get it at any hardware store. And usually it already comes with a slit on it. What you're going to do is you're going to come down the backside with your scissors and cut it in half. You want to approximately cut these things between 11 and 12 inches long for your chain. What you're going to do is once you cut one, you're going to take a little duct tape, have someone help you with the tape. Awesome. And then that is our first rung of our chain. And then when you get done, you're going to have a nice long chain. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back, add a little bit of black, a little bit of orange for the rust. And that's going to be anchored to our 3D chain.
Of course, we need an awesome anchor at Shipwrecked.
So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting it out of foam. We have an anchor here. What I'm going to have Megan doing is I want to round the anchor on a 45-degree angle. So what we're going to do now is just go in there with a sanding block sander and lightly sand it somewhat smooth. And then when we get that painted and aged, that's going to look like a real anchor.